Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about capture cards, and specifically the kind that you would be looking for if you were wanting to capture something like an Xbox One, a PS4, 360, etc. So, before we go too deep into it, please make sure that your computer and your internet are both capable of actually streaming, because if you go out and you buy something like this, and even just one of those isn't capable, you're probably going to have to spend quite a bit of money just to be able to get it up and running to how it just would even look good. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. The first capture card that I'm wanting to talk about is actually a USB 3.0 capture card called the Razer Ripsaw. Now, some people like it, some people don't. I've enjoyed my Ripsaw. I haven't had too many issues with it, so that's why I'd be willing to suggest it. Now, the great part about this is that it's USB 3.0, so that means you're going to have a lot more bandwidth to send a lot of data, which will potentially make your game look a lot cleaner than if you were just running off of something like a USB 2.0 card. Now, we can look at the pictures here. It's pretty nice. Right here, the in and the out basically means you have a splitter. The in is the Xbox with an HDMI cable to that, and then the out would be going to your monitor, your TV, whatever you want. Now your component in, that would be red, green, and blue, so that would be for the older consoles like a 360 or a PS3 if you didn't have HDMI for those. Another nice thing, it actually has a microphone port and it has an auxiliary port, so you can just plug everything into there and you can get the sound directly from that without having to deal with everything else. Now let's talk about the system requirements for this. So you need to have at least Windows 10, 8, or 7. And I can actually show you how to check that if you don't know what version you have. So you'll click the Manila folder right there if you have 10, right click this PC, go to properties, and then that will come up. And it's just going to tell you right here. So Windows 10, Windows 10. We're good on that. USB 3 powered. Now, I can't tell you exactly if you're going to have that or not. There are some ways that you can tell. If you have any kind of blue USB port, that's more than likely going to be a USB 3. If you have a light blue one, then it's more than likely 3.1, which that's even better. Now, you have the CPU still that we need to be looking at, and so that says you need at least an Intel Core i5 4th generation. I have an Intel Core i5 9th generation. So I'm obviously going to be able to do it. You can even look at the gigahertz. Everything looks good. It also talks about laptops. Now, feel free to try and stream from a laptop, but you're going to have to spend so much more money on a laptop that's going to be able to stream efficiently and not have dropped frames and a whole bunch of stuff. So please try and stick to a desktop unless you're just willing to fork out $1.5 thousand to be able to get like a good quality streaming laptop. The next thing we're going to be talking about is the graphics card that's needed. So an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660, that's a pretty old card. You can probably get that for pretty cheap even if you didn't have one. If you were wondering what kind of video card you have, if you hit the Windows key and R at the same time, you will be bringing up the run key. You can type in dx-diag, then hit enter. It will bring this up. Then it actually gives you quite a bit of stuff. If you click where it says display, that will tell you what video card you have. So I have an RTX 2070. And if you're a little confused when I said the Windows key, that is the key on your keyboard that just has the flag on it, the little Windows sign. So we can go ahead. And now the next thing we're looking at is the RAM. So it says you need a minimum of 4 gigabytes of RAM, but please, for the love of God, don't even try streaming with 4 gigs of RAM. Have at least 8, and obviously USB 3 for the interface. That's nothing new. Now let's go ahead. Let's jump on to the next capture card. Now, this capture card, the Gamer Portable 2 Plus, this is pretty nice. This can end up being nice if you're always on the go and you just wanted to be able to record something and you didn't have a computer with you. As long as you have an SD card, it can actually record things, which is the quality when it tries to record things on its own. It's okay. It's not the best. It's definitely not if you were trying to actually record it from a computer, but it gets the job done. Now, it can also be used on a computer and let it try and do a little bit of the harder side of things as long as you use its proprietary software, but you still end up sort of getting the shaky quality as if you weren't using the computer in the first place. So you may as well just use the actual computer itself to go through and get it done. Now, if you look at it, it actually has a volume button. That's pretty nice. I believe that one right there is for the SD card, and then over here to the left, that's just for chat and all that fun stuff. What I actually really liked about it is when it's plugged in, you end up getting that, and it's all blue. And I suppose I should also mention it has 4K pass-through, so that means you can play your Xbox, your PS4, whatever at 4K. Then it can actually downscale it to 1080p as long as you have the correct settings set up there. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the system requirements for this bad boy. System requirements. So I already showed you how to check this. Windows 10, 8.1, or 7. This can also run on Mac. That's nice. So you need, at least for this one, a third gen i5. So that means you can technically run this on a little bit of an older computer compared to the Razer Ripsaw. But more than likely, the reason on that is because this is actually a USB 2.0, and it's not USB 3, so it doesn't require that much, and the quality that you get out of it may not end up being as good as the Razer Ripsaw. Pretty much, if you're looking at it, you're noticing a GTX 650, while the Ripsaw was like 660. So there's definitely going to be a little bit of a difference between the two, but either one of these would probably do just fine for you. 4 gigabytes of RAM. Please, for the love of God, don't stream with 4. So powered USB 2.0 port, like I said, needs USB 2. The micro SD, if you're one to actually record with it for the PC free recording or whatever. I have this capture card. It's a decent little card. I haven't actually tried the PC free recording though. Something just tells me the recording on it may not look that good. So just try and stick with the computer. Now, if you don't want either of these capture cards, you can actually get one that you'd basically be putting into your computer. So that would mean you would turn off your computer, take off the side, and you would put this into a PCIe slot. It's called the AverMedia Live Gamer HD2. It looks cool. It looks really cool. I like the blue and all that fun stuff to it. So just like all the other capture cards, this has its own little built-in splitter, the HDMI in, the HDMI out, and then it also has the auxiliary ports, all that fun stuff. So stream and record Xbox, pretty much all the same stuff that all the other ones had, except this one just ends up being internal. So if we go down here, we can take a look at the requirements to use it. So Windows 10, 8, 7, same as the other one. So it looks like this actually is the equivalent of the other one. So i5 3rd gen, Intel Core i5 3rd generation or above, or just an i7 would be recommended. 4 gigabytes of RAM once again. Please don't use 4 gigabytes of RAM. And then same exact thing for the for the video card, I'm sorry. So a GTX 650. So that's about it. That's all that I got for you guys today. As always, if you have any issues, anything at all, please let us know and we'll be right there for you.